Hello, once again, everyone. I'm your host, Ray Shasho, and welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends. The voice of Empty Trail is loud, bellowing, deep within the soul of the three-piece hard rock band that calls Austin, Texas, its home. And Empty Trail wants its voice heard. Singer-guitarist Rick Lambert originally began the concept of the band as a personal project during his stint in Los Angeles. After recording his first EP entitled Obscured, while roaming the city of angels, he decided to relocate to Austin after recruiting drummer Rom Gov and bassist Shane Wallin in the fall of 2016. Empty Trail received an overwhelmingly positive response after taking their act on the road, especially in their home state of Texas. Their single, My World, exemplifies the full embodiment of what Empty Trail is meant to be. Recorded at Evil Snail Studios in 2017, My World proved to be a massive turning point. Empty Trail takes pride on building a network of fans that they consider family. The band spends much of its time engaging with followers through Instagram and Facebook, while fans from all over the world have shown their appreciation by creating international online fan pages, handmade artwork, and even covers of their music. Empty Trail has recently released three powerful singles, a Marcy Playground cover entitled Sex and Candy, World Split in Two, and their brand new single, I Don't Want the Truth. Please welcome guitarist, lead singer, songwriter, and founder of Empty Trail, Rick Lambert, to Interviewing the Legends. Hello, Rick.
What's up? Thank you, Ray. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome, man. Now, here are the sentiments of your fans, and I agree with them 100%. Okay? These are the guys on YouTube. They say, damn, this band needs more recognition. Great work. And I agree with them. You guys need more PR.
I agree. It's hard. It's a expensive endeavor, honestly, but I agree. We need to get the word out there. I would be lying if I didn't say I want the whole world to know about Empty Trail right now. So hopefully soon.
You got a great band. You sound like a lot of those legendary bands of the late 80s and 90s. Um, what I understand, you just got new management as well. Talk about that.
Yeah, well, yeah, so just recently, I mean, it's been kind of like basically I've had some contacts, and one of them is decided to kind of take on Empty Trail and be the manager of the band. So hopefully we have some fun stuff coming as far as that. It's kind of like a little battleground behind the scenes of, trying to connect dots, trying to get, some opportunities for this band so they can get in the road in the right way and get more exposure and, hopefully, connect that dot and then everyone starts hearing about it. So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Do you have a good PR team behind you as well, or?
Right now, no PR team. I actually did the press release for the I Don't Want the Truth myself, and I was just
Okay.
sending it out. It didn't work with anyone specifically this time. I've kind of been doing it independently. So maybe if we can, get the right record label involved with the project, maybe we'll kind of do something more like that. I don't know. Who knows? It could be. We could change in the split of a dime. So, you know,
I think the big way of getting the most exposure is probably live gigs. The more live gigs, I guess. Even if they're small gigs, just get you out there at least. And it's been tough. I know it's been tough.
yeah, totally. We just had our last show that we had booked right now last Thursday at
Uh-huh.
a place called Valhalla here in Austin, Texas.
Right.
Cool venue, right off Red River, which is pretty popular place, right next to Stubbs Barbecue, which all the bigger bands, big venue. Um, yeah, and it was a great show. It was good. Right now, we don't have anything on the map actually as far as shows, so we're actually in the process of booking some stuff right now. So
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I'd like to see you guys go overseas as well, because there's a lot of bands that just make it overseas big time and then they come back to the US once they hit it big.
Yeah, me too. I love that.
Yeah.
Been talking to a couple people who are from overseas, seeing if maybe we could do like a tandem kind of support tour type thing. We kind of come to there because I'd love to do that. That'd be
Oh
great.
yeah. Yeah,
It,
I could see you guys opening up for a lot of great, legendary bands, and probably blowing them off the stage. You guys are
oh,
that
that's really
good.
that's really kind. I could never say that. I appreciate that. Who do you think? I'm just curious. Who do you think would be like a good fit for Empty Trail?
Oh man, I'd have to think about that. Maybe at the end of the show, I'll come up with something. But um, I mean, I just saw I took my son to see Godsmack,
Oh, love it.
and with oh god, I can never remember the band. Uh, I hate everything about you.
Oh, 3 Days Grace.
3 Days Grace,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
those two, and there's a lot of other bands too. There's like 10 or 12 different bands, but those guys were the best. And
yeah, yeah.
actually, 3 Days Grace did a great job. I thought they were better than Godsmack. You know,
Yeah, no, they're both great bands. I am yeah, I love
either
them.
one of those bands I could see opening up for. Maybe 3 Days Grace. That might be a good on their next tour. Who knows?
I love to do it. I
Yeah.
want them to give me a call, we'll make it
Okay.
happen. Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
get the word out.
I love it. Let's do it.
So you got the new management. That's a good thing. I want to talk. You got three great singles out now, and
Thank you.
one of them is a cover from Marcy Playground, "Sex and Candy." And "Sex and Candy," that song. I mean that song by Marcy Playground drew over 38 million views on YouTube, and
Yeah.
you guys nailed it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I think it was an interesting cover. I've kind of told some other people as well. It was like a contact that I had, or a friend contact. Basically, his wife was a model. They're not
Mhm.
together anymore, so that's why I say it was. But um, and they wanted to have a band that would cover the song, because I would never really think to cover "Sex and Candy"
Right.
by Marcy Playground. And at the time, we just kind of were like, "Hey, is it actually released? I think maybe a year ago now, actually." Um, yeah, and I thought it turned out really good. I thought it was interesting. I think it gave like a lot of room to really do something unique with it, just because the style of Marcy Playground, that and Empty Trail are different, right? So I think it turned out cool and I enjoyed it.
Great song. You guys did a great job with that. World Split in Two was another single. Talk about this track.
This track was actually kind of in the queue for a while. There was actually a collection of maybe 5 songs, including the next one, I Don't Want the Truth, that were kind of sitting around for probably 9 months, 10 months. So they kind of like took a while to actually release it. But I think the track turned out great. It's basically just kind of about the polarizing divide that I feel like everywhere. It just seems like everybody is just very, very, very strong in their beliefs, and it's just very divided now. We kind of make jokes about like on social media and stuff where,
Yep.
there's a lot of things that I don't even really want to talk about politically, but just things that are really dividing. It does feel like the whole world is just like, you know, split
Split
in
in
two,
two.
really, really. So,
Yeah.
and I will say that when I wrote it lyrically, I wasn't really thinking specifically like that. I
Hmm.
think that sometimes writing songs, at first you don't really know what they're about, at least for
Right.
me. And then as you write them, and you kind of are like, because it's coming from your psyche in a sense, and then you're like, oh, that was more profound than I thought that I was trying to do. So, you know,
And split in two can mean a lot of different things, not just
true,
political.
true.
Religion, about war, your feelings about, war and things like that. It could mean so many things. It really
Yeah,
can.
yeah, and that's kind of like
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I just think that like
Yeah.
everyone is so polarized in thoughts,
Right.
and it doesn't have to be politically. It's just anything. Everybody is very specific, and it just seems like we're kind of like a little disconnected more so nowadays, it seems.
Exactly. That's so cool. What's so cool about lyrics. It could mean a lot of things to the person listening. It's never this is what it means and that's it.
Yeah,
You create it in your mind what you think the lyrics are about. That's what I
yeah,
like about it.
yeah, me too.
Yep. I Don't Want the Truth. That's your new one. and
Hmm.
I love it. Awesome guitar. You're a really good guitar player, by the way. And not only do you got a great voice, but you're an excellent guitar player.
Thank you so
Um,
much. I appreciate that.
this song sounds a little bit like Godsmack in a
I
way.
like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Talk about this one.
I Yeah, I mean this one lyric well, for the musicians, I like this because this song is tuned to B. So the low E string is actually tuned all the way lower past the drop D tuning. So it kind of has like a lower sound to it. Actually the same as the Sex and Candy cover.
Right.
Um this song I could get really deep with lyrically.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by this, I don't want the truth, right? Like I mean this could go more surface level. I mean, I've heard like jokes made about it, like what, like you don't want the truth, like you don't want to know if something sucks or something, or
Right.
like of course, yeah, but I mean like even when I wrote it, like even deeper of a sense of I find that I do think a lot, and sometimes when you do understand the systems of how things work in the world, a lot of specific stuff. Sometimes the truth and conclusions of these things, at least for me, I mean, everyone comes to different conclusions, don't necessarily feel settled and
Mm-hmm.
amazing all the time.
Right.
But I think that I've rationalized that maybe it's not good for us to know the deepest truths on some things.
Yep.
Just my opinion. Maybe it's better to just stay in your own box, in your own playing field, live your life, and there's no need to try to understand everything because it's kind of just more than I think that we're equipped to understand. So that's kind of more what I meant from writing the song.
You know,
I don't want the deep truths and stuff because they just, you know, cause anxiety and all
that's
that bad stuff.
100% correct. It's like politics. When we didn't know anything before social media, everybody was okay. There was
Hmm.
always corruptness in politics, but we don't want to hear all the details and how bad they're screwing us all over. Let's
Yeah,
just go on with your life. It's like we don't want to know the Matrix. If we knew that,
exactly.
you know, I agree with you
Yeah,
on that, man.
and I think I don't know, maybe I don't know what it is, but I think I always wanted to I wanted to understand. I prioritized understanding how things work at a deep level. And
Right.
sometimes when you find out how they work, it's like, oh, that's I don't know how I feel about all this now, kind of type of stuff.
Exactly.
So that's kind of like, and I just don't think it's mentally healthy for
It's
us
not.
to think about any of that. So it's kind of like whatever, they work the way they do, and
Yeah. And
you
life's
know,
too short anyway.
exactly. I agree.
And do we really want to find out about UFOs? Do they eat
I
people?
do. I do. I'd love to see some UFOs.
To a
Do you believe
certain
in
degree.
aliens? I love
If
it.
they're bad, I don't want to know about
This
it.
is true. This is true.
One cool thing about the band, you guys come out with the greatest like single covers, EP covers, the album cover, from Bear. I love those covers, man. If it was back when we had record stores, I would have bought you guys just based on your covers. you know,
I appreciate that.
they're really cool. Who
Thank you so
designs the
much.
covers on your music?
I do actually.
Do you really? You're kidding
Yeah,
me.
I
You
no,
did Bear as well?
no, Bear I did. Bear I didn't do that one. That's
Okay.
true. I didn't do that one. That was Nick Cassell from Los Angeles. But all the most recent
The world split in two and all that.
yeah, all the most recent like four past 5 or 6
Very
releases
cool.
I've done. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I mean, did you do the artwork as well on that?
On which one?
Did you do the artwork of the EP and also the all the singles? The
Yeah,
actual
yeah,
artwork.
yes, yes,
You
yes,
did the actual
yes.
artwork.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
You're really talented, man.
I appreciate that. I mean, I like it. It's weird. I feel like, but I guess like once again, I just like to kind of figure things out. So it's kind of
Yeah,
learning how to do all the like digital graphic design and stuff, and it's a good skill to know. So a
right.
lot of with all the constant social media and content and stuff,
Right.
I learned to kind of, make these cool videos and stuff, and
Very
hopefully
cool.
they reach people. So
Awesome. Wow.
yeah, I
You guys do
appreciate
a
that.
lot on your own for a trio, you know. It's amazing. Um, what was I going to say is you guys put out EPs. You had Bear was an album. Uh, is there going to be another album coming out? You're going to work on an album,
So, and that's kind of like I personally, you know, as a band, is thinking from an artist perspective, would
right?
love to do an album. I mean, I think I really miss the actual when album reigned supreme, and the order of the songs, and everything was meant to flow in and out of each other. Nowadays, I mean, I don't know your thoughts on this, but it's just kind of hard to deny with you know, Spotify, the streaming, and the way that people
Right,
consume music
right.
nowadays. And I'd love to release an album, like I said, but as a band, we kind of all agree that it just makes sense to kind of keep pushing singles right now.
Right.
So, but once again, I told you we were talking about the management and stuff. So depending if this could lead into maybe a label deal or something, they're going to want an album. So that would change things.
Yeah.
So
I'd love to hear a concept album by you guys. That'd be
I
so cool.
I love that too.
Yeah, maybe with a little prog influence, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, because your album covers look very prog, you know? Kind of like
Oh,
Roger
like
Dean
with
type things, you know?
with the artwork.
Yeah, the artwork.
Yeah. I mean, I think like just even like the lyrical content, I feel is just
Yeah.
always tried to be, like deep, abstract, kind of, philosophical, introspective
Hmm.
type of stuff. And I feel like I've always liked I like not being specific about stuff. I like when things are
Hmm.
kind of more a vibe,
I
right?
agree.
And less like, like I don't think I've ever written a song about like a specific like girlfriend or something or something
Right.
like, which I probably maybe we should, because maybe that's the single that people want. But and it's worked, of course. But like I've never been. Usually it's always been like just an overall feeling, or something kind of abstract in that sense.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, prog rock made a big comeback. There's a lot of great prog bands now, and not only that, but they're heavier. You know, they're all actually called prog metal. There's a lot of prog metal bands now.
What
So
are some like? I'm sorry. Continue.
well, you guys are kind of fitting in that category now. You know,
I I appreciate that. I was gonna say like, what are some new prog bands that you've heard lately that you think are really sticking out? Because I always just like to know other bands that are kind of making
yeah.
waves nowadays.
Um, there's a bunch of them. You know, off the. I mean, I've been bringing in a lot of bands from like Norway, from Germany. There's a band called RPWL that I mean they got all their stuff from Pink Floyd. They sound just like Pink Floyd, and they started out as a Pink Floyd kind of tribute band, but now they write their own music, and they sound great. They sound incredible. Great guitar player, almost kind of David Gilmour like, you know.
I
Um,
love it.
yeah, but there's a lot of great prog bands out. I once in a while I'll listen to a station called Moro, MOROW.com, and they play all the newest prog rock bands, and
Oh, cool.
they play a lot of prog metal, which is
Oh,
cool.
cool.
You know, there's a lot of shredding going on there. You know,
I like it. I gotta check that. What do you think of? Sorry, I'm just curious. Like the Polyphia. Polyphia is like a big band that's kind of
yeah,
come out. It's kind of like a new age. I always watch like the live videos when they post those playthroughs and stuff, and it's funny because um, I totally get into the shred stuff. I love
hmm
that's actually where I started as a guitar player. It's like, oh, my favorite guitar player was Paul Gilbert, hands
okay,
down. Paul Gilbert and Marty Friedman. I loved all the shred stuff. Empty Trail solo wise, I feel like I've been very modest with the
right.
way that it's been approached in that way. But I do love seeing kind of the people just kind of, play these things that take years to practice to be able to,
Oh yeah.
even come close to. So
Did you like bands like Dream Theater?
I love Dream Theater. Yes,
Yeah,
love Dream Theater.
yeah,
Yep. John
and
Petrucci. It's funny, John Petrucci, he sold a book.
right.
Forgot what it was called. but it was a technique book, and I would sit there when I was 12 years old and go through all the techniques of the click track. It
Yep.
was good. It was great.
I just had Impellitteri, the band Impellitteri, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a real good shredder. He was kind of named like one of the greatest shredders ever, but he says, "Nah, I'm not a shredder," But he doesn't want to be considered a shredder, I guess. But
I get that. I get that.
yeah, what's cool about your playing? You put a lot of effects into your playing. Effects that I've never heard before, really, on a lot of the tracks, especially the tracks on Introspect off that EP. There's a lot of cool effects in your guitar playing.
Yeah, there was some like weird studio stuff
Yeah,
where I think that, because I think that the thought process was, I'm glad that you said that. It was kind of like, how can create a sound with the guitar that maybe people are not accustomed to hearing.
yeah,
So I think there was like a couple things. I think it was an octave pedal like mixed with a wah set in a weird way that kind of like you can't really tell exactly what that's going on in the guitar, but it was,
exactly.
it's interesting. I like that. I like that stuff. So
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. I play guitar. I couldn't figure out what you were doing. It's a sound I've never heard before. I don't know, like maybe the song in Transcend from Introspect, the opening of that was a cool guitar riff.
Thank you so much. Yeah. That was a cool song. That was also in the same tuning as I was saying, the Sex and Candy
Right.
track. I thought that was kind of a cool song. Yeah.
That EP was good. I liked Introspect. That came out, what, 2021, I guess? That was very, very good.
2021. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Good songs,
Appreciate
man.
that.
Yeah, you had
Thank you
the
so much.
last time. That was a favorite of mine. It sounded very kind of rocker grunge,
Totally.
80s and 90s era.
Totally.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Thank you
Um,
so much.
talk about and I Pray. Talk about that track.
Uh, hmm. Let me see. It's been a while since I dwelled on this one. Yeah. Uh, I don't know. I guess this is kind of like maybe a controversial
Right.
song. Truly. So, and I don't like, it's funny. Like I like to put things out, but I don't like to get too upfront with my beliefs and stuff on things.
Hmm.
So I think the song comes from a place of maybe slight anger, um, feeling, because I okay, I'll get deep now. Okay. I grew up religious. I grew up Christian.
Right.
And I'm not anymore, but I think I still have a lot of just maybe anger or some negative feelings towards um, kind of maybe some family religious, how it was pushed on me when I felt like maybe when I was a young age, I really did need some help, or I
Hmm.
needed, a friend or love or someone there. And everything I believed kind of like just wasn't really there for me when I needed it most. And I
Right.
think it comes from a sense of slight anger. And once again, like writing that song, I didn't remember or think what it was going to be about when it was written. It just kind of, comes out and it just feels right. And sometimes, you know, people connect or relate to it, or maybe
Hmm.
people just are totally polarized by it, like I said, which I don't ever want to do, but that's just
Right.
kind of art, right? You just stick thoughts out and, but
It's
I'd
kind of
have to go
like
through, I'd have to comb through the lyrics and see like specifically, but that's kind of,
yeah. Well, it's cool. It's a cool song. It's kind of like Jethro Tull did "My God,"
yeah,
and I had Ian Anderson on that long ago, and we talked about those songs. It's not against religion. It's not for religion. It's just kind of like what you're doing in a way.
yeah.
You know?
And that's exactly.
Yeah,
And I thought,
exactly.
it was a interesting song because I think there were some things that songwriting wise, it was kind of like, okay, this is what we should do in the song here.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it was like, let's not do that.
Right.
Let's try to go somewhere else here. So, you know, it's actually interesting because I've had a lot of people say they like, it's like I feel like our most pocketed like fan base kind of was
Right.
like on it, but then a lot of people that I've talked to have said that I really like those songs.
Hmm.
So I feel like it's like niche or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Well, my
I mean
my
I like
favorite
them
song,
personally. So
one of my favorite songs of all time,
what?
okay, by you guys is "The Hole That's Left Inside." I think, I mean, if radio had any sense nowadays, that would be a hit. That's a great song.
I love
It
that.
it
Thank
just
you.
it just flows. I love the way the song flows, you know?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's funny. I feel like the Introspect album, to be honest, I feel like it didn't get a lot of attention.
See,
Not
that's
because
sad.
people didn't not because
Yeah.
people didn't like it. It's just we were in COVID and stuff,
Right, right,
and things weren't really getting pushed. It was kind of like, I think Guitar World put up like a little thing for it, which is
right.
awesome. But then it just kind of like fizzled out, and so I'm glad hearing this because I feel like we didn't get a lot of thoughts on it.
Well,
So
especially that song. That song should be in the, it should be out there. I don't know, do a live album and put it on there or something, you know?
I appreciate that. Yeah, because
You know?
those songs are not getting as much attention as they should. So
It's a shame, man. Your whole band's not getting the attention it should because you have a
yeah,
wonderful band.
I
You're a great
appreciate it.
artist, great guitar player. You write fantastic lyrics. It just makes me mad, that
I appreciate it.
somebody needs to just grab a hold of the band and say, "Here," and
I
be
I I I,
recognized.
I love it. I really
Yeah.
wish the powers that be really would just. I mean, obviously, like I guess everyone feels this way, but I do feel like the band has a lot of potential. I just wish it would get out there where it needs to actually be seen in a bigger way. But it's all in due time, I suppose.
My cousin that I grew up with, her son is in a band called Black Lung. They sound a lot like Black Sabbath.
I think I've heard
And
that.
have you?
Black Lung. I think so.
They're out of Baltimore, but they made it big overseas. They go to
Oh
Germany
wow.
all the time, and they're very big in Germany. You know,
It's interesting. Our biggest fan base is in South America by
really,
far,
I didn't know
by
that.
far.
That's
Our
crazy.
biggest, like the most traction that we get are where our fans lie are on Instagram. So like on Instagram, if I pull up the metrics and stuff, I mean, we have 16,000 followers, almost 17,000, and the bulk of them all come from South America,
Wow.
Chile, Brazil,
Right.
uh, some Mexico. Where else is a big one? Basically just everywhere, Ecuador, everywhere in South America. So I'm thinking that we got to get Empty Troll maybe to South America somehow, because that seems to be where people are resonating the most. Probably the least, probably is like what's funny because obviously we're from US, but US markets on rock
Right.
is just not as great as I think that we'd want it to be, um, but
It,
yeah,
it,
South America seems to like us.
well, that's where you should start your tour.
I agree. I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Some other country. I mean, you do well in Germany. I think you do well in Amsterdam, probably Japan as well.
Would love to do all that.
Yeah. You would have done great in Ukraine, probably, but you can't go there now.
That's true.
Those
You
are
know, I
big
haven't
fans
e
in Ukraine.
I haven't even been overseas, so
Really? Oh, no.
yeah. So like, I mean, I would love to just do that and be able to tour with the band. So that
Come
would be
on,
great.
Rick.
What?
Come on, man. Get a
I
tour
know. I
manager. You need a
agree.
tour
I
manager.
I agree. That's the thing. I agree. I would like. I right now. I would love a booking agent to be like, I love you guys. Like, let's get this going. Like, I'm game. Let's do it. It's
Band meeting.
the
Band meeting.
band meeting, and there's I think right now there's just truth is there's not a lot to go around as far as the infrastructure right now with
Right.
everything. So it's very difficult to kind of get in the circle of things. But hopefully that changes soon.
Well, people are starving for music right now, after COVID and everything. I mean, all the venues are sold out. People are getting a lot of money for tickets. They're charging crazy prices and they're getting it. So it's a good time right now to tour.
Well, we would love to be the world supplier of music. We'd
Yeah,
love that.
you're a great band. You're a great band, man.
Appreciate
I'm
that.
telling
Thank
you.
you.
I'm going to mention some of the other tunes I like by you guys. Lost. Um, Again, that's got the cool guitar effects on that track. What I like. Um, did you enjoy getting tortured in that video?
Yeah, I mean that was it was interesting. It was like we did it with the director Teresa Jolie,
Right.
and we had a different couple concepts. That video was all her concept of kind of that. I did. It was fun. It was actually I could like pretend to be like an actor for like a little bit.
Yeah,
It was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it actually.
you're good at it.
Um, Appreciate that. I did. It didn't really get injured. So
Yeah.
but well, the only thing was for the clawfoot tub when I got dunked in it.
Hmm.
I remember there was kind of a concern because the tub actually wasn't very big. So it
Right.
was kind of like, make sure we only have one take at this because once you're wet, you can't like make yourself unwet, right?
Right.
So let's just make sure that like your head gets in the water and not like gets in the back or something. But so that was kind of like could be dangerous, but no, it was fun. And I think that video just turned out fantastic. I'd love to do something,
Came out great.
that was a high production quality video, and I'd love to do that again. But
Yeah, some bands try to do it themselves, and it looks kind of cheesy. But you guys do a
yeah,
good job on videos. You guys do
yeah,
a
that
really
one
good
was
job. Yeah,
thank you so much. Yeah, Teresa Jolie, like I said, she kicked butt, and everyone else that was a part of that video
right.
um turned out good.
Yeah, you got a lot of hits on that. You got a lot of great fans. I've been reading a lot of comments on YouTube, and they're all saying the same thing, that how you guys should have been a lot bigger than what you are. And I think you already know that, but
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I know, like once again, I know that there's a target or a big pocket of people out there who
right,
are looking for like the new rock bands, like
that's
as
right.
well, and when they find it, they resonate and they connect with it and they like it. So we're continuing to fight the good fight with it, and
Yeah,
hopefully we can get
yep.
out there to more people. And yeah, I mean it's cool to have like all these like fan pages on Instagram. They're all country specific.
Yep.
That's been kind of a cool thing to see. We are almost at 2 million streams on Spotify,
Hmm.
um, which
That's
you
pretty
know
good.
I'm proud of. I
Yeah.
think it's the metrics of the music industry are views and numbers and streams, and so it's very privileged or grateful
Sure.
for that for this band. So
This interview will be on Spotify too, by the way.
I love it. Cool.
I
I'm gonna
I
repost it.
stream everywhere. All the major streaming sources. I'm out there, so
I love it.
you'll be covered.
Cool.
Um,
Thank you so much.
My World. I
My
told
world.
you this before. How some of your songs you sound like Chris Cornell,
Yeah.
which is cool. You know, Especially now that Chris is not with us anymore. You know, but My World's a great song, and that reminds me a lot of Chris. And again, that should be a radio hit, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it was kind of on the way to kind of keep going. Because it was on the radio for a while and it seemed to get really good reception. It just kind of didn't keep going. But
Yeah.
maybe, I can start going now. So who knows?
You're up against so much crap nowadays in music.
It's true.
It's a shame. And it's
It's
been
true.
going on for such a long time. I mean, rap shouldn't have lasted this long. I was a top 40 DJ back in the late 70s. I played the first
Yeah.
commercial rap song on the air in
Yeah.
1979. The
That's so
Sugar Hill
cool.
Gang, Rapper's Delight.
I
I mean,
love it.
that's how old rap is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know? And everything's dance music nowadays. It's
Yeah.
either dance
Yeah.
music, kind of club type music, or it's Taylor Swift or Katy Perry, which I can't stand either one of them. I wish they
Yeah. I
just
mean,
go away.
yeah. Go away. Give us some radio spots, please.
Exactly.
You guys are dominating the airwaves.
It's
Enough.
ridiculous, and they keep giving them awards and all that crap. I mean, bring back the bands. We need more bands. We need more great guitar players like yourself. That's what music was all about.
I think like what I personally would really want in the mainstream is I'm always a sucker for authenticity. I really
Hmm.
want to feel like there are artists that are making waves. There's people out there that, they're not in a room with, five people trying to write the perfect lyrics to
Right,
sell to everybody in the world. I want to feel like somebody actually just is a real human being, and they're connecting with the rest of the world. I don't want to feel like McDonald's fied by the music,
right, right.
Um, but and there's some artists that are making it through and doing that, but many of us are kind of, at
Yeah,
the edges where it's hard to find us.
it
People
is.
just don't know where we exist. That's the thing. They like us, they just don't know where to find us.
I
You
was
gotta
so
find
lucky.
us here.
I grew up in the '60s, with top
Yeah,
40 music in the '60s, which was incredible.
all the best music.
All the best music was on the radio. You know,
Yeah.
concert tickets were like $5, and you saw three bands. You know, you'd see the Jay Giles band with Jeff Beck and the Mahavishnu Orchestra or something like that. For $5. And then record albums were like $4. I mean, it's changed, but record albums are coming back. Maybe that's where you guys fit in. Because
Yeah, we gotta get the vinyls,
the vinyls they're coming back.
then we can see the artwork on the physical,
Exactly.
I love it.
Liner notes
It's
like
good.
the old days. I just talked to Alan Parsons. He was on
Hmm.
recently with me.
Oh, cool.
He's releasing his whole catalog on vinyl now, which is pretty
Oh,
cool.
so cool. That is
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And
I
more and
definitely
more
want to do that.
people, yeah, more and more people are getting the old component systems again with turntables, like the old days. So maybe that'll come back. Then maybe record stores will come back and radio will
I
change. Who knows?
I love it. I love it. I want the record stores.
I miss record stores, man. Record stores were like it was like a church. You would go in there and you lose yourself for hours. You know, I used to love Peaches records. I don't know if you
Where
remember
was that?
Peaches or not. Peaches, you remember
I don't
Peaches?
think
No, it
so. I don't think so. Was that like a?
was a big record store.
I
Yeah,
see. I see.
yeah. Going over some other songs. Somewhere, another cool song. Every Toll. That was a rocker. That was a good rocker.
Yeah, I like that
Um,
one. That was more upbeat. That's some more uh maybe harder to play guitar parts in there. I think
yeah. Oh
faster
yeah.
parts. Yeah.
Exactly. Speaking of guitars, how many guitars do you have?
Yeah. How many do I have right now?
Are you a collector?
A Fender. Not really. I've
Yeah.
never really been one of those guys. Really. I have a Fender Strat.
Right.
I have an Epiphone Les Paul. I have an uh Eastwood guitar, uh, twin tone. It's like the one that David Bowie used.
Hmm.
It's in the Lost music video. It's a black and white one. I just liked it because I thought it was unique. I didn't really see that guitar as much around. It's kind of a smaller guitar too, so when you're on stage, you kind of can throw it around and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's not like the or you're getting like dragged down, break
Exactly.
your back.
Yeah.
And it's funny. That's really all I have right here. Back home, because I'm from Wisconsin, I
Hmm.
have some guitars like just packed away somewhere, which I never got out to Texas to use. They're at my family, their house. But yeah, I've never really been much of like a crazy gear guy or guitars. I mean, I probably could find a lot of guitars that just I could pick one off a wall and just be like, this one works, I like it,
Yeah.
you know, um, personally. As far as like pedals and stuff, really only have the chorus pedal, um, the whammy pedal, which is a big
Hmm.
one, Digitech whammy pedal, which I like to use a lot, which also creates the weird sounds. A wah pedal, the Dimebag Darrell pedal, which is cool. It's always been in the arsenal. And then just a tuner. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the gain, all the distortion comes from the amp of a Mesa Roadster. So a
Okay.
Mesa Boogie Roadster amp.
Very cool. Yeah, Marshalls as well. Marshall amps.
No Marshalls. I
No
used to have a
Marshalls.
Marshall, but I sold it. I do
Yeah.
like Marshalls, but um, yeah.
I'm a Tele guy. I've always liked Telecasters for some
I like the
reason.
Telecasters.
Yeah. I can't
I like
I
their
can't
tone.
play a Gibson because I hurt my hand. I
Um,
had surgery on my wrist, so I can't use
I
a
see.
heavier guitar. It's
I
got to be a
see.
light guitar. So,
I like Telecasters actually.
do you?
I always forget to because they're not really. I feel like they're maybe what are they more like classic rock kind of country thing, not usually it's like a harder rock thing.
Right.
But I love them. I love how they sound. They're so clean sounding, and they are like twangy, and there's just so many things you can do with them. I love them.
Yeah. Do you ever get into the blues? Little slide?
Yeah, I don't think Empty Trail's got a slide on one song.
Right.
What is it called? It's I haven't played it in such a long time. It's off like the second 6 song EP. Oh my God, I forgot what my own song was.
Which EP is it on?
Hollow Hearted. It was there's a slide at the whole section. Hollow Hearted, Empty Trail. That's funny.
Was it
Hey, there's a lot of songs. It was Inside. Inside has
Inside? I was going to say Inside. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Slide on that, which I think is cool. A lot of gain on it, a lot of like a reverb and just kind of spacey feel.
Yeah.
Just think they're cool. But yeah, I like the slide.
Hollow Hearted was another great EP. I really enjoyed that one
Appreciate
too.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was that was a long time ago now. That one was done in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
It was reamped at what's his name? Do you know I'm losing his name. I think Keith, he's the guitar player, he was the guitar player in Buck Cherry. I forget his name.
Yeah.
It was his personal studio. So we went there, we reamped at his personal studio, which I think was cool. Um, and then yeah, I'm happy that one turned out too.
I
Very
like
cool.
I liked Inside. Inside sounded Chris Cornell and Lane Staley combination.
Totally. That album was so like that was like all the influences are very like right there at the top on that one. I think as it kept going, things have kind of spaced out, but you know,
And
very
again, that's
obvious like what's being listened to.
exactly. That should have been a radio hit too. I'm
Agreed. They
good at
should all have
picking
been
out
radio
hits.
hits.
I'm
I
good at
like
picking
it.
out hits. You know,
I love it.
it's being I listen to top 40 music so much, and so much music since I was a kid that
Yeah.
I should have been an A&R guy. That's what I wanted to be. I don't even think they have those guys anymore. But you did put out an album, which I loved. I think the last time we did an interview, I did talk about Bear, which is great. And the cover, of course, love the cover. Very
Yeah, like
spacey. It's kind of Pink Floydish.
yeah,
you
the
know?
mannequins. I've
Yeah.
had people say it's kind of looks like a Rush album cover
Or
too,
Rush,
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I like it. The mannequins are cool. That was like I said, Nick Cassell. He's a graphic designer in Los Angeles. He did that one, and it's cool.
It's a really good album. That's why I'm looking forward to a new album, and I'm hoping
Thank
it's
you
some
so
kind of
much.
concept album. Because your lyrics would be perfect for a concept album, and the way you think.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it would just be cool to do an album with that thought in mind, with the whole album in mind. It's
Yeah,
just, you know, I think that's something I'd like to do. So yeah.
yeah. Do you like doing cover songs?
Covers are cool. Covers are always
Yeah,
good. I mean, personally, I like to do covers of songs that just don't sound anything like Empty Trail.
exactly.
Something that really you take into your style and
Right,
it kind of almost is like a new song in a way.
right,
It's not just like, it's that people be like, oh, what you should cover is like a Soundgarden song or like an Alice Chain song. And that's cool, but I just feel like it's going to sound kind of like the same. You know what I mean? I'd rather do
right.
something that's so, I'm interested to hear what that would sound like in an Empty Trail style way.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Black Hole Sun.
Yeah,
Your
Black Hole
style.
Sun. Black
Your
Hole Sun is
style.
a dance hit, as a Taylor Swift song. Black Hole Sun, Taylor Swift.
Oh God. Peter Frampton actually did that song in concert.
That's right. He did it with a talk
Yeah.
box, or
Yeah, it was
that's cool.
interesting. Yeah. It sounded too much like the original though, kind of.
Yeah,
I just interviewed Mark Stein from Vanilla Fudge, the lead singer from Vanilla Fudge and
cool,
keyboard
cool.
player. They did a an album called Vanilla Zeppelin, all Zeppelin
Vanilla Zeppelin.
tunes, totally different. Doesn't sound anything like the traditional Zeppelin songs. And some of the reviewers bashed it because it didn't sound like Zeppelin, and I was the opposite. I said it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Their
That's
take on
cool. I mean, I
Zeppelin
think
was
it's
incredible.
there's something unique about that. I think when somebody covers a song,
Yeah,
done well, of course, but covers a song and you're like, I didn't even know this was a cover. Sounds
right.
like them, I think that's cool. That's, because you don't want to try to like outdo the original. I mean, you're not going to do that. No one would
No,
want to do that. The original is beautiful the way it is, so
if you're going to do the original, you might as well be a tribute band or something.
exactly. I
It doesn't
agree.
make any sense.
Yeah.
I want to mention one thing. When I went to see Godsmack in 3 Days Grace with my son, okay,
Mhm.
I was really pissed off. There's a band there called Black Veil Brides. Have you heard of them?
Yeah. Yeah, I know them.
Oh my God. I mean, I could have punched each band member in the face. The whole set was, I mean, you couldn't understand the lyrics. You couldn't hear the singer. It was just noise, just, turned up to 20 on the volume scale. And it was ridiculous, and when a band does that, I just freak out because it doesn't make any sense. You're losing what the band's all about. You don't hear the lyrics. You don't hear the 3 Days Grace came on. They were perfect. I mean, you heard the vocals, you heard everything. Godsmack the same way. But when I heard Black Veil Brides, man, I was upset. I had to walk out. I walked out, went into the lobby with my son because
Yeah.
I was that mad. I
I
just
think it's I think it's a quite interesting because I don't know why Black Veil Brides would make sense on that bill. They're a
no.
rock, but it's not like, I mean, they're like a screaming band, right? They don't really sing,
Yeah,
it's screaming.
exactly,
It just seems
exactly.
like a weird,
Didn't make
a
sense.
weird bill. And I understand like the bookers and people are just like, well, we just want to get as many
Right.
people in the room as possible. So just this is another popular band, so we'll just put them together and draw a bunch of people. But it's like not really a great fit at all.
No, not
Because
at
you wouldn't
all.
because if you yeah, because like if you're not into the screaming thing, it's just, I don't know. I agree with you.
But not only the screaming thing, but you couldn't hear anything. It was just like noise. It wasn't
Yeah.
music. It was just noise. It was ridiculous. What is
I,
wrong with
I've
these
never
people?
I've never seen them, but I might not know.
Horrible, horrible. And I don't care if I get nasty letters or anything either. They were horrible. What was the first concert you ever went to?
First concert I ever went to was, you ever heard of Summerfest?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I grew up in Wisconsin.
Right.
So I think my mother took me to Summerfest when I was like 11, maybe
Hmm.
11 or two. I don't, so I guess my first couple of concerts was all the bands that were playing there, but we saw a band called the Ataris, uh, at kind of like the headlining slot there because they have so many stages. They're like 11, or it's like Warp Tour or something, or like a big fest. I don't know if you've heard of that band. I actually don't remember one song by them. They had a cover. They had a cover. I think they had a cover. I think it was like the Boys of Summer, but it was like they had their own cover of it.
Right.
And I think that's what would put them on the map, that having that cover. Yeah, that was probably my first true concert. I think after that, um, some other stuff at Summerfest, but kind of like more metal or rock stuff. Um, I remember going to Lamb of God, Machine Head, uh, what was the other band? I think Shinedown. I think Shinedown was on
Hmm.
it.
Right.
It was before Shinedown was, the way they are now. It was just who's this band opening. Um, yeah, I think it was kind of like one of the the first ones. Yeah, but the Atari's one was the first one ever. I wish I had a crazier story about it, but I was 12 years old. So.
I think the last bit of kind of true rock music was, late 80s, 90s, the grunge scene, the Soundgardens, Nirvana, Pearl Jam. I think that was the last bit of it, which you guys kind of echo as well.
I
I
feel so
mean,
bad. I wasn't even alive. I wasn't even alive for the real music.
that's funny.
I got born, I had this burning desire, and all the music goes away. Oh, jeez.
I listened to all that stuff because my kids were into that.
Yeah,
So I was a big Chris Cornell fan. I was
yeah.
heartbroken when he passed away like he did.
Me, me too.
Yeah, I thought he was
We
cool.
talked we talked about that like I think 3 years ago, right?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
we
I think I'm
did.
remembering that. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was just sad. It's just like I don't know. It's kind of a weird sentiment because when anybody passes in a bad way, it's sad. But for some
yeah.
reason, I don't know why it made me extra sad about I don't know. Just I don't know. It's like you have everything. Why would you,
Right.
it's like I think it's kind of sad thought. Like,
Not only
who,
that, but so many of them back in the '90s. Those guys.
yeah, yeah,
You know, and Dolores from the Cranberries. I used to love the Cranberries.
yeah, yeah.
It's a shame.
It's
It
sad.
really is.
It is a shame.
Yeah. So, what are you most proud of so far in your career?
Most proud of, oh, there's a lot of little moments. The I don't know I don't know what I'm most proud of, but let me think. So like the streaming thing, right? So like knowing that millions of people have listened to something that you
Right.
created in itself is just kind of a wowing thing when you think about it. Millions of people. Um, that's something that I'm very proud of. Um, I'm proud of getting the band signed.
Hmm.
The band being signed, we were signed to Golden Robot Records. Now, once again, I have a different perspective on being signed now after, we were signed and my own thoughts and,
Right.
if it always makes sense for bands to be in that relationship. But that was something that I think as a little kid me would be like, oh my God. Um, that's something super proud of. I'm super proud of all the music, people love it, like it, meh, or they absolutely hate it. I mean, it's works of art that expressing yourself and your thoughts and putting out there, and that in itself is something that I'm very proud of. Because Empty Trail has been, truthfully, my passion. You
Yep.
know, with it, like right now we talk about this. Shane, the bass player,
Hmm.
and Rom both are not
Hmm.
currently in the band.
Really?
Shane, yeah, yeah. So it didn't have that in the bio, but Shane,
Yeah.
he's from North Carolina. He had to
Okay.
go home. We're totally in great terms. I love Shane. He just had to go home. It just,
Right.
and I'm still here in Austin. And then Rom, it just kind of, he's still here in Austin, but there was just some back end stuff that just, which I won't get into, but we're still all good friends and stuff. It just didn't make sense in the sense. Right now, actually, Mason, his name is Mason Galaviz. He was in a
Okay.
band called Oddfellows here in Austin, Texas. He's been playing drums with Empty Trail. And then John Yaden has been playing bass. I think the band does sound very good right now.
Hmm.
And John is in a band called Lift the Curse, and he also plays guitar for the band called The Browning. Um, I don't know if you've heard of them. They're a
Hmm.
real metal. You have?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he plays guitar for The Browning.
Okay.
Um, and wait, what was the initial question? You asked me
What are
is
you proud
well,
of? Yeah.
most
Yeah.
proud of. So yeah, I'm proud of basically the works of art being out there, and it was, you know, kind of a lifelong pursuit.
Right.
Honestly, this was there was a little kid, Rick, that really wanted to follow the rock world and write stuff and play in a band and put music out and be signed to a record label and have people listen to the music, open for other bands. I have a peer group of people that are in famous, successful bands that I listened to when I was a kid. Now they're friends.
Hmm.
I mean, personally something I'm all wowed of and proud of when I look back. So
Well, you've done a lot independently. I mean, without the help of, a group of PR guys and big record companies and everything. So you've accomplished a lot independently. But I think now it's time to move on to the next level, I guess. And you got to figure out how to do that. Which way do you want to go?
it's tricky. I mean, I want
Yeah,
to, I think all bands, just to be candid, I mean, I think, I want to move upwards in any
right,
way. It's just, and I would love to have a team of people to get involved with Empty Trail, but the industry is just kind of in an interesting place right now. And,
right.
you know, there are just financial setbacks that stop all of this happening
True.
in the way that I would want. I'm just being honest, like, of course, like, if the record label's like, hey, I want to sign you and like have millions of people and have a team and do all the stuff, I would say yes in a heartbeat, but
Yeah.
it's just, that's not an opportunity right now.
Well,
So
write a letter to David Grohl. Maybe he can,
I,
you
yeah, I
know,
mean,
I know he
I
like your
yeah,
sound. Definitely.
maybe you've interviewed him, maybe you know him, send him a little
I've not,
message
you
from
know
me.
what? It doesn't make sense because I grew up in DC and David
Yeah,
Grohl is from that area.
yeah,
And I know one of his best friends. I was going to manage his best friend's band.
really.
Yeah. And then he went out to Arizona. And the band split up. It was called Soylent Green. I was going to
Soylent
manage
Green,
them. Yeah.
I
But
love it.
he actually played with David Grohl in a band together in DC. And David Grohl used to play at a place called the Black Cat in DC. And so he was all over that area. He had pictures of him and David rehearsing together and all kinds of cool
Yeah,
things. But I never got to interview him for some reason. We have a lot in common, being from DC and stuff. So I don't know. We'll
yeah,
figure it
I
out. But
agree.
if you had a guy like David Grohl back in you,
I
like
agree.
Gene Simmons backs a lot of bands too.
I
You know,
would, I would, I'd absolutely love if somebody wanted to saw
right?
potential and wanted to kind of help and mentor and
Hmm.
make things into a bigger way. I would, that would be the greatest thing ever.
Well, if I
So
run into anybody, I'll mention you guys and see
thank you so
what I can
much.
do on my end. I like to put people together.
I appreciate that so much.
It's amazing how many rock legends don't talk to each other. People think they communicate, but they don't.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
even
yeah.
ex-band members, they always ask me, how's he doing lately? I haven't talked to him in 15 years, And I said, well,
That's
yeah, he's
funny.
doing good.
It's crazy.
Happens all the time, man. I'm like
Yeah,
the in-between guy.
I get that. You're the mediator between
The mediator. I'm the mediator, yeah.
famous musicians.
Exactly. All right, here's your final question. I've asked you this before. We're going to ask you
Let's do
again.
it.
Maybe things
Let's do it.
changed. If you had a Field of Dreams wish, like the movie, to perform or collaborate with anyone from the past or present, who would that be?
David Grohl.
David Grohl. There you go.
Dave Grohl. Let's do it.
You can play drums. Play drums on the
Yeah,
next album.
I would love it. Let's do it. That's 100%. I'm all for it.
Yeah,
You
awesome. I got
know,
to get a hold of him now.
yeah, we got to make this happen. So
I will. I'm gonna get a hold of him. We have too much in common to not chat. So what's next for
I
Rick
mean,
Lambert? What's next for the band? What
what's
do you
what's next for the band or Rick
what are you
Lambert?
gonna do?
Well, the next thing is that more shows are going to be booked locally. We are trying to I'm just going to be totally transparent about it. We're trying to get the band on the road. We want to tour, but we're trying to tour in a way that's going to make sense in a lot of ways. So
Right.
um, once we can get the right situation, we're on the road. That's definitely something that wants to happen. Is as well as a lot of local shows going on. There are going to be new singles that are going to be released. We're probably trying to
Yep.
do every month and a half to 2 months will be a
Hmm.
new song that'll be
That's a good thing.
released. We do have a lyric video for I Don't Want the Truth, which I just got sent back to me. So now I'm going to be the process of figuring out when we want to release it and kind of go through the
Okay.
cycle of that. Um, as far as the management and stuff, we are trying to get some record label attention in the band.
Hmm.
So hopefully we can get the right team of people that see potential in this and want to take it to the next level.
Yep.
That's a big goal. So that's going to be happening too. So shows, more songs. You're going to see, if you follow on the social medias,
Hmm.
as you know, with all the bands, it's constant. If you follow on Instagram, constantly posting stuff, new
Yep.
content, and so if you want to stay up to date, you'll definitely stay up to date there. So
And you got a lot of fans on YouTube, man. They're
yeah,
always
a lot
looking
of
for
fans
new
on.
music. Yeah.
Yeah, everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
I usually just repost stuff like Instagram will get reposted on the Facebook. Trying to do the whole, do you do the TikTok thing? You on TikTok ever?
I'm not on TikTok. That's the only one I'm not on. I haven't gotten into
So it's
TikTok
just,
yet.
it's one of those just, necessary like evils
Yeah.
here. So it's like, everyone, that I talk to, all managers, everyone's like, you got to be in TikTok, the band's got to be in TikTok. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be on TikTok. So there
Okay.
it is. I thought TikTok was for the 15-year-olds, but
That's what I thought.
apparently it's for everyone now. So it's
Yeah.
you know, so yeah, everywhere social media, type in Empty Trail, you'll be updated. And then yeah, looking for right tours. There's going to be more local shows that are booked. And then more songs are going to be released, and then hopefully some real exciting news that
Awesome.
I don't have yet, but when I do, you're going to hear about it.
Well, if you ever need gigs in my area, I could help you out with that.
Would love
Finding a
that.
venue.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm in the
would love
Tampa
that.
Bay area.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, if we get
yeah.
like a tour kind of that way, I'll definitely
Yeah,
reach out. Would
definitely.
love
I'll
that.
help you out.
Thank you so
Sure.
much.
Well, you guys are great. Great band, great guitar player, great lyricist. I can't tell you any more than that. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Um,
Ray.
I want to mention, check out your latest singles by Empty Trail, Mercy Playground cover, Sex and Candy, World Split in Two, and their newest single, which was released October 21st, I Don't Want the Truth, which is coming out with a new video as well. www.emptytrail.com. You can go there, and I think you guys are also on Facebook, right? You're on all
Yep,
the,
everywhere: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram,
yep.
even the platforms I don't know exist. I bet our music
It's,
is up there
there's
somewhere.
so
So
many. It's hard to keep up, man.
yeah.
Introspect, the EP, that's available on Amazon. Most of your music is available on Amazon as well.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you're on Twitter, like I said, Instagram. Thank you, man, for being on the show
Thank
today.
you.
It's
Thank
always
you.
great. We'll always keep in touch. Whatever you got, anything new, let me know on Facebook, and we'll do this again.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Ray.
Anytime,
Very great.
man.
Very greatly.
Good luck to you. All right. Take
Talk to you
care.
soon.
Bye bye.